You meet someone, shake their hand, hear their name clearly, and 5 seconds later it's gone. Not vaguely remembered, completely erased. If this has happened to you more times than you'd like to admit, especially as you've gotten older, it can feel embarrassing, careless, or even disrespectful. But psychology tells a very different story. Forgetting names is rarely about poor memory. In many cases, it reveals how your brain actually prioritizes information. Names are psychologically strange. Unlike faces, voices, or emotional cues, a person's name often has no inherent meaning attached to it. It's an arbitrary label. The brain remembers information best when it connects to emotion, relevance, or survival value. A name, by itself, doesn't naturally anchor to any of those systems. So when someone easily forgets names, it doesn't mean their memory is weak. It often means their attention is being directed elsewhere. People who struggle with names tend to be highly context-oriented thinkers. When they meet someone new, their focus is usually on reading the situation rather than storing labels. They notice tone of voice, facial expressions, social dynamics, power hierarchies, and emotional subtext. Their cognitive resources are busy decoding the interaction itself. The name becomes secondary, and the brain quietly deprioritizes it. From a neuroscience perspective, this is about working memory overload. During social encounters, especially for adults who are thoughtful or socially aware, the brain is multitasking. It's listening, responding, regulating emotion, and anticipating social expectations all at once. When cognitive load is high, details that lack immediate functional value, like names, are the first to drop. There's also a strong link between name forgetting and empathy. People who are deeply people-focused often remember how someone made them feel rather than what they were called. Emotional impressions are processed in different neural networks than factual labels. That's why someone might forget a name repeatedly but remember personal stories, struggles, or subtle personality traits with striking clarity. Interestingly, anxiety can play a role as well, but not in the way people assume. It's not that anxious individuals don't care. It's that concern about social performance pulls attention inward. When someone is focused on saying the right thing, maintaining politeness, or avoiding awkwardness, fewer mental resources remain for encoding new information. The name is heard, but it's never fully stored. Age also changes the equation. As people move into midlife and beyond, their brains become more selective. This isn't cognitive decline, it's efficiency. The mind starts filtering information more aggressively, holding on to what feels useful, emotionally relevant, or repeatedly reinforced. Names that don't reappear often enough simply don't pass the brain's internal threshold for storage. Another overlooked factor is identity-based thinking. People who see others through roles, colleague, neighbor, client, friend, often remember relational context better than specific identifiers. The brain categorizes first and labels later. If the relationship hasn't stabilized yet, the name doesn't stick. This is why forgetting names often coexists with strong long-term memory in other areas. Many people who struggle here can recall conversations from years ago, details from books, or complex emotional patterns with ease. Their memory system isn't faulty, it's specialized. Social judgment around name forgetting tends to be harsh, but misplaced. Psychology shows that memory is not a neutral recording device. It's a filtering system shaped by attention, emotion, and meaning. Names, unless emotionally anchored or frequently used, simply don't register as high priority for certain minds. Understanding this changes how we interpret the behavior. Forgetting someone's name doesn't signal indifference. In many cases, it reflects a brain that is deeply engaged, emotionally tuned, and selectively focused. The question isn't, why can't I remember names? But rather, what is my attention choosing instead? And often, the answer reveals a mind that notices far more than it forgets.